Good morning and thanks for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. A Boise police officer is on leave this morning after a man was found dead on the bench. Right now, investigators say it appears that shots fired by Officer Jason Green hit the man. According to Captain Ron Winiger, Green was first on scene at the duplex at Malad and Gorley Streets after a call from a neighbor that a man was using a crowbar to break windows.
Officers responded, tried to make contact with that subject. They heard what they believed to be some crashing sounds, and then they heard from inside the residence what they believed to be gunshots.
According to the captain, when Officer Green saw the man inside target another officer, he fired his gun. Sometime later, the subject was found dead inside the duplex, and while this was going on, neighbors were sheltered at nearby Whitney School. The investigation has been turned over to the Critical Incident Task Force. The Boise County Sheriff's Office says 2 people are dead after their vehicle plunged into the water at Arrowrock Reservoir. The crash happened Saturday at the northern tip of the reservoir where it meets the Boise River. It's a very remote location with a nearly 90-foot, almost vertical drop to the water. Ada County divers assisted in the search. Sheriff's deputies say witnesses called in the crash just before noon Saturday, but initial searches turned up nothing. Divers finally located the green SUV about noon yesterday, upside down in about 30 feet of water. The 2 victims have been identified as Isaac and Jenny Hunter of Boise. Boise County officials say the cause of the crash was speed. Egyptian warplanes bombed Islamic State militants overnight, targeting camps, training sites, and weapons storage depots. It was retaliation for the beheading of 21 Coptic Christians on a beach in Libya. Video of those executions was released yesterday. Congress is debating President Obama's request for authorization to use military force against ISIS, something Arizona Senator John McCain supports.
Restrain him in our authorization of him taking military action, I think, frankly, is unconstitutional.
The ISIS video released Sunday is the first from outside its core territory in Iraq and Syria. It's seen as a troubling sign that the group is expanding its operations. The early spring weather is taking its toll on Soldier Mountain near Fairfield. Today's the last day before the lifts are shut down for the season. Managers say their goal each year is about 25,000 people hitting the slopes, but this year they had just 4,500. The nonprofit organization running things says despite the low turnout, they expect to be back next year. Soldiers' snowcat backcountry skiing will continue for at least a couple more weeks. Powder hounds at Bogus Basin looking to save on next season's skiing and getting in turns for the rest of this season can purchase their passes beginning today. That sale runs through next Sunday, February 22nd. Adult tickets are just $2.29, teens are $1.99, and children just $59. For a link to Bogus's online store, just head to KBOI2.com and click on News Links. The Associated Press says United Airlines will outsource all of its jobs at Boise Airport. It's part of the Airlines plan to hire contractors at 16 airports nationwide. The decision was part of an agreement reached on Friday between United and a union. United will be required to offer jobs to union members whose jobs have been outsourced, but those workers could be asked to relocate. The race to Robie Creek doesn't take place until April 18th, but the first real competition begins today at noon with registration. Last year, the 2,100 bib numbers sold out in just 70 minutes. The second chance drawing for an additional 200 bib numbers will open once the original 2,100 are gone. The second chance drawing will be held February 23rd. The entry fee is $50, $56 for the second chance drawing. If you want to register for the race, we've set up a link at KBOI2.com. Well, just as New Englanders finally managed to dig out from under the last big snowfall, another huge storm brought whiteout conditions to some parts of the region. The wind caused problems with huge drifts swallowing stairways, porches, and even piling up on the roofs of buildings. Snow removal crews struggled to find places to put all of that new snow as they fought to keep the roads clear.
Yeah, pretty much. There's nowhere to put it. You know, the streets are all backed up and the plows need to get in, and it's just crazy.
Near Boston, the storm dropped nearly a foot of snow in some places. February in Beantown now ranks as the snowiest month since they started keeping records back in 1872. Snow totals so far have hit 45.5 inches. This weekend, hundreds of people took to the streets to protest an officer-involved shooting in Pasco, Washington. The protest was organized by family members of the victim, Antonio Zambrano Montes. He was killed Tuesday after allegedly throwing rocks at police officers. Members of the man's family have filed a $25 million tort claim against Pasco. That's the first step in filing a lawsuit. 4 people have been shot and killed by Pasco police since last summer. In Denver, a protest against police shootings turned ugly. 2 people defaced a memorial to fallen officers in front of a Denver police station. The protesters splashed red paint and stuck stickers on the memorial. About 150 others carried signs and blocked traffic. Police officers and firefighters cleaned the memorial, and prosecutors have charged the 2 people responsible with criminal mischief. But the protesters are not apologizing. The next crew of the International Space Station is hoping that the Force is with them, and they're doing everything they can to make sure it is. The 6 NASA astronauts donned Jedi robes and crafted their lightsabers to pose for their official pre-mission poster. The crew's headed for the International Space Station later this year, and once they arrive, 2 crew members will stay on board the ISS for a full 12-month mission.